Hello, I'm APX and welcome back to Q&A Saturday. This is the once a week series I run on my channel. I answer your questions that have been asked on the last week's Q&A Saturday video, and it's a fun once a week opportunity for me to answer your big questions about life, the universe, and of course, Minecraft updates. I'm going to keep saying that every week now. It's a lot of fun, but with that said, let me just start by saying that if you do not already know and you want to get involved in the back and forth, you can leave any comment in the comment section down below, and that is where I read all of the comments to pick next week's Q&A question. And I'm considering next week just doing a rapid fire Q&A on every single question down there, so might be a thing we do. I also really want to do a Q&A Saturday where I deliberately answer your question as wrong as I humanly can. So yeah, we've got a lot of fun ideas we might be doing them. Just leave a comment down below and we'll see what happens next week. But with that said, let's get straight into the first question, which comes in from RANT who says, I don't even know the name of this series because your accent low. I hear Curious State instead of Q&A Saturday. And you know, I just wanted to quickly say that yeah, this is actually one of the funny things people say on all my channels as to like, what did you even say in that intro? Because as I say something more and more, I guess I start saying it faster and faster, and this is actually a problem when it comes to YouTube that I've been slowly trying to fix. So yeah, first of all, not my accent, it's kind of just the way I speak. I think I have a pretty clear accent, right? Most people can vaguely understand me. And second of all, it is something I've spent most of this year actually really trying to work on improving my, I guess, my presenting skills, my ability to say something and to speak and get points across, because it used to just be like, you can see the progression on my channel from like 2013 to like 2017. It was already fast at the start and it just kept on getting faster and faster. The speed is good. You know, a lot of YouTubers will talk to you like you're a disabled dog. I try to speak to you like people. Maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe it's a good idea, but it's something I've been really working on improving. So I hope that by the end of the year, you'll distinctly hear Q&A Saturday. Maybe we should just say it like 5 times, like Q&A Saturday. Saturday, Q&A. The Q&A that happens once a week on Saturday. So hopefully you notice that in the coming months. It's something I really am like spending a lot of my time focusing on because I actually think it's a good skill in general. You're not saying things to people and having people understand and maybe agree with what you say. That's a valuable skill, probably, maybe not. Anyway, with that said, let's move into the second question, which comes in from Zach26Gamer, who asks, Q&A, do you think they'll do another mob vote at the Minecon Earth this year? If so, what mob would you add? So first of all, if I was going to add any mob to Minecraft, it would be like, you know, a mob that, let's say, looks kind of like Mob C from last year's Minecon. And the magical thing about this mob, though, is that maybe when you kill it, it spawns a cave, and maybe in fact, what if it spawns an entire cave update? Wouldn't that be a good idea? But no, I really would love to see the Mob C from last year's Minecon. But also, as far as do I think they'll do a mob vote, will I get to vote for a new mob? I do not think so, and I think there's 2 reasons behind that. One is the fact that last year's polls were incredibly close. They figured like, oh, there'd be one mob people would like the most, and then there's some mobs that people like almost as much. But no, all of the voting last year came really close down to the wire. It was like 27%, 26, 25, 24, which when you think about it like that, it's like, oh, so only 27% of your player base got their favorite mob in the game. Not very good thing by itself. And the second problem was the fact that it had very low engagement rates. Like literally, there were 40,000 people watching the YouTube official Minecraft stream. There were 5,000 in mine, and there were no doubt tens of thousands, you know, like enough places across the internet. The number of people that voted in the poll, because it was on Twitter, was less than 2,000. It's one of the more embarrassing things I feel like for Minecraft's history that they decided something this big on a, you know, vote of 2,000. So I think we won't see another mob vote, and if we do, it definitely won't be done via Twitter. So, and I doubt it will be something as big as that because people also weren't on board with the idea. So yeah, no mob vote this year. I think we might see something else replacing it, maybe just votes for fun things or like small changes, but definitely not something as big as a mob because, you know, I'm going to be honest, I wish we had anything but the Phantom right now. It's a cool idea, but it just, you know, I'm just saying, would have preferred no mob. So with that said, let's move into the next question, which comes in from Chicken Nuggets, who says, is this a question? It is. Just a bad one. With that said though, let's move to the fourth question, which comes in from Zombie Boy 1, who says, IBX Toycat, what happened to the Super Duper graphics pack? And I just wanted to say, I don't understand how this comment gets left on last week's Q&A Saturday, let alone how 12 people upvoted it. What do you, don't scroll through the comments and upvote them and type them while you're watching the Q&A Saturday, because I'm answering questions in there, like maybe this one. So this is the sort of thing that I'm actually like sat there in the bathroom like 2 days later thinking like, how does this happen? Is anyone watching my videos? Is this all a scam? Because yeah, like it's how does this comment get left? It wasn't even like it was one of the later questions. It was like the 5th question last week's Q&A Saturday. If you want to know, and like the thing is he watched the whole Q&A Saturday and was like, you know, maybe he'll answer my question anyway. You know, maybe something's changed in the next week. I don't know. I just wanted to say, please watch the video before you leave a comment. All 12 of you. My brain broke on this one. I just want to. With that said, though, let's move into the 5th question, which comes in from Peter Strong, who says, haha, Bedrock a better render engine? Beacons don't render as they should, and let's face it, what was wrong with the old one? At least Java can have all of the eye candy, and as I stated, a beacon is what it says on the tin. I considered a distance, unlike in Bedrock. And I wanted to just quickly respond to this and say, yeah, I mentioned how Bedrock's render engine was significantly better than Java's, and I guess I meant at the job of rendering, you know, the world in terms of efficiency. Like, you got to keep in mind the max Java render distance. I think it's depressingly low compared to Bedrock's. Bedrock can render literally an order of magnitude more blocks, more chunks, more whatever you want to see in the same amount of processing power. It's a huge thing, but I think it's actually a big downside at the same time. I think we need to kind of make this collective message that, look, if you want to be on these kind of powerful consoles, like soon to be the Xbox One X, the Switch, the, you know, like high-end PCs, you got to give something for that that's not just render distance, that should be functional things. Stuff like beacons, there's no excuse for that not working, or at least not to have an option to say, hey, I'd like beacons to work as beacons. There's a lot of stuff like this where they should have an option for you, but, and the reason they don't, the reason that they actually spend so long updates, and one of the reasons this stuff is in there, is because they spend so much of their time optimizing the Bedrock engine. Bedrock runs on 14 different platforms, and some of those platforms are super weak, unlike the Java team, which never really cared too much about optimization, and unlike the console team, which only really had to care once every 6 months, the Bedrock team is constantly spending a lot of man hours trying to optimize the engine so they'll get more from less, and one of the downsides to that is they rarely do the opposite. They rarely spend more processing power to get, you know, less from more, if you will. So yeah, it's kind of a downside. It's something I totally would love to see them do. It's just something you got to keep in mind that, like, the Bedrock engine, more efficient, it just sucks in a few ways. One of those is that you can't really see stuff that's behind you, you know, it's not properly rendered sometimes, and another one is that it has that separate simulation distance, which means stuff doesn't actually happen unless you're nearby. It's a clever system, it's just a clever system with a lot of holes in. So with that said, let's move into the next question, which comes in from Aaron Brooks, who says, YouTube doesn't notify me when you upload, even though I have the bell on. So I just want to give you this little heads up, because I've been thinking about this a lot this week. So every YouTuber will do this every now and then. It's like, YouTube is suppressing my videos. And I mean, like, I guess it's technically true. So if you want to make sure that you see the videos and you have the bell on, but you want to make sure that you see all of the notifications, hit that little bell next to my name, and then if you've already hit it, hit the bell again, and it's like, how many notifications do you want? And by default, it turns down to only some of them, but if you want to see every single video, make sure you hit all of them, or there's like a most of them option. But I wanted to talk about this because it's something I've slowly been realizing that Google does with kind of all of their products, and they're trying to remove the benefits that come with being a big something. So basically, whenever, if you look on the Google Play Store, it's the same kind of thing, where it's really hard to find games by the same developer that you're already finding games by. You can look for other games that are similar, and maybe that developer has done something like that, but they're trying to remove the benefits of having developed a big mobile game once and getting more traffic as a result of that. And they're kind of doing this with the Google search results, particularly with like Google News and stuff, and they're kind of also doing a similar thing with YouTube, where, you know, it used to be that subscriptions were the focus of YouTube, and then it's like, oh yeah, subscriptions are the second tab, and then it's like, oh yeah, well, if you subscribe to someone, you'll see some stuff, and then it's like, oh, it will have like a notification bell that's going to be a real subscription, and then it's like, oh, but now you've got to kind of change that. They really don't want it to be like, oh yeah, I watched a video from this person before, and now I'm going to watch more videos from them again. Even though that's what you want as a user, because, you know, they used to have the options, they were very popular, why would they remove those options? And it's because, I guess, of two things. Either it's the benevolent reason, and they realized, you know, why don't we help out, like, the people who aren't already established? Because there is one big problem with any platform, which is that the best stuff isn't the top stuff, you know? You know, I've said before, like, the most popular TV shows aren't the greatest ones, and we all know that. It's the same with YouTube videos. The most popular YouTubers on the platform in 2018, you know, the Paul brothers or whatever, everyone kind of hates them, or at least the majority of people hate them, but yet there they are, like, very close to the top in certain ways. So maybe they just think, like, hey, so why don't we help the content that isn't established with them by removing this link? Like, by making the YouTube homepage provide all your stuff, maybe they feel like, yeah, well, we can help promote the best stuff. But given that that's not what it does, you know, I get promoted videos of New Zealand border control. It's a good show, by the way, but, you know, I get promoted, like, the weirdest videos of all over the place that I do click on, but aren't good videos. I think what it ends up doing, and what maybe they wanted to do in the first place, is just, you know, feed you more content that isn't from the creators you watch. If you watch a certain number of YouTubers, you'll watch their videos, then maybe you'll go do something else. You know, maybe you'll wait for them to upload another one, but if you're not watching certain YouTubers, you're just watching what YouTube feeds you, then it's great when it feeds you stuff from the YouTubers you like, but also sometimes you'll see New Zealand Border Patrol. It's a pretty good show. They've got to keep their country safe from agricultural goods. Got to get those animal diseases out there, and the only way they can do that is with their Border Patrol. So I think I think it's something that's kind of deeply worrying to me, but I don't know if there is a good solution, or even if maybe YouTube does know better. Maybe Google knows that this is the best way. You kill off these old, TV shows, channels, whatever, that were popular, old news outlets, and then other ones can spring up and replace them, hopefully. But what seems to end up happening is not that. But anyway, I just wanted to say that I've been making a lot more effort to watch things that I like and find games from developers I like and so on and so forth, just because it ends up being a better experience all round. Like, I might consume less, but I'll usually consume better, and I feel like it tied into this whole bell question that, like, yeah, if you want to see any notifications from any YouTubers you watch, the best way is to have that bell turned on. But yeah, either way, maybe you have some better thoughts, maybe you have some calming thoughts, like, oh, it's really good in this way, because I feel like no small YouTubers like the system either, the ones, creating the supposedly best stuff. Like, it seems like no one's on board with the current system, because it makes it just harder to get known. It's like no one really has as much of a developed audience. It's more like there's some people that like me, and then there's some people that happen to be fed my stuff when YouTube deems it appropriate, which is a weird world we live in, but it is. With that said though, let's move to the next question, which comes in from Cryptic Stuff, who says, are you going to do another member-only stream thing? I think everyone will love that. I think we will. The fact that Minecraft Bedrock doesn't have a kick function makes my life a lot harder on that regard. Like, we might have to use a realm, but then there's only 10 slots. I totally do want to do a member-only UHC. We also had the problem where, like, one of the people in the UHC was, like, deliberately hunting me down using the stream, so we have to, like, be like, hey, we can't stop you, but please don't do that deliberately, like, whatever. So yeah, I feel like we should totally do that again. I think we totally will do another once a month thing. So yeah, channel member-only stream. Expect one for the month of October when that month rolls around, assuming I'm not dead by then. So with that said, let's move into the next question, which comes in from Rapid Flow Gaming, who says, also, where are bark blocks? And you know, one, it would be funny if I barked this one, right? Yeah, barking is yelling in British English, I believe. You can look it up. But with that said, where are the bark blocks? Where they at, yo? How do I get my hand on some 6-sided wood? And yeah, they're not in the console update. They're not in the Bedrock update. Why is that? I think they're deemed as like a 1.7 feature or something. Maybe they're going to make a lot more technical blocks come over, because I know they are planning to overhaul the technical ID system on Bedrock as well, and maybe put more blocks in that way. It's really weird, because it's one of those features that's one of the easiest bits. Like, even wooden buttons, new different types, aren't on Bedrock just yet, and I'm assuming they want to have a big update where they pad it out using those blocks. I'm not entirely certain. It seems weird, it's inconsistent, but it's a thing. I guess that's a good way to describe Minecraft Bedrock as a whole, right? So, with that said, let's move to the final question, which comes in from Jacob J301, who says, how tall are you? Andrew. So, I don't know if I like the formatting of this question. How tall are you, Andrew? But I want to just kind of respond to this because I have a height rant I want to give to all of you. So in the UK, we measure heights with the foot system. We measure most other things in meters, but we measure heights in feet, which is kind of weird. But I am 5'9" if you measure me using a ruler. However, most people, like I've checked, I did it very recently, or like a big tape measure. However, most people, when they're asked about their height, they'll say a number that they create from nowhere. It's going to be roughly based on their height, but they might add an inch, maybe 2, maybe 3. Because, are you going to go up to them and like check them? And the worst bit is because everyone does this, and the only way most people can check their height on a day-to-day basis is if you're like, you're not 6'1", and they're like, I am 6'1", and then you have to go up to each other, and they're like, oh, if I'm 5'10", you look about 3 inches taller than me. It's awful. I hate it so much. And it basically comes down to the fact that, like, because this is awful because a lot of girls are like, oh, I only date guys that are over 6 foot or only 5'8", because I think 5'8" is the actual national average when you actually measure people. But because a lot of girls, say stuff like that, I'm sure it's not true. I'm sure they would date the right 5'11" guy or whatever. But everyone's like, yeah, I'm exactly 6 foot. You just say you're 6 foot, or it's the worst system, and it means that basically the question of how tall you are comes down to like, so what answer do you want? And you can believe that if it's within like 6 inches of your actual height, you can say it. Do you want me to be short? I'll be 5'6". Want me to be tall? I'll be 6 foot. This is why we need the metric system. I'm sure this is a problem in North America too. We just need to be like, oh yeah, I'm 1.85 meters, and then that way there's no arbitrary like, oh, you gotta be over 2 meters to date me, because no one's over 2 meters, or some people are over 2 meters, but still, anyway, yeah, I'm passionate about height. I'm passionate about how bad the foot system is, and they taught me meters in school, and then I had to go out and learn like there's this foot rating system, but everyone's between 5 foot something and 5 foot something anyway, so it's all measured by inches, and it's just terrible. I hate it all. I hate height. I hate you for making me talk about height. I'm sorry, Jacob J. I love you really. But thank you very much for watching today's Q&A Saturday. I hope you did all like it. If you're curious about the background gameplay, because I've been playing a lot more Skywars lately, especially in Q&A Saturday, this week I was trying to see if I could win a Skywars in the smallest amount of time possible, the lowest amount of time possible. I was trying to just like kind of speedrun it, and yeah, I I guess like the end goal on that is like one day we can get the 2-minute magic run. It's kind of fun actually, play Skywars on CubeCraft. I guess if you go play it now, that'll be harder for me to get my 2 minutes. But yeah, it's a fun server, fun action, I guess. There's not many things I can say good about CubeCraft, but I can say I like their Skywars, and I can also say thank you very much for watching the video. Like if you liked it, share if you really liked it, subscribe around here, turn on them notifications, then go into them notifications and turn them on, turn on all, and then make sure you follow me on Twitter, because inevitably it's going to change again, that you gotta twizzle the knob on the hit the bell button if you want to actually see notifications. I do recommend Twitter. It seems like just some weird cross promotion, but it's just like, hey, Twitter, you can guarantee you'll see every tweet, and some of those tweets include videos. They also include pictures of things like noodles being spilled on the floor. So whatever you really want from life, you can get from twitter.com/IBXToyCat. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you did or like it or learn something from it. Or maybe I just filled up 16 minutes while you're playing Minecraft in the background. Whatever your life is, I'm here for you, dude. With that said, hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.